index using our Navicat tool. And for this example, I'm going to choose the AP database, and I'm just going to pick the vendors table. If I look at the vendors table now, I can see that there are already 3 existing indexes in there. And the reason those indexes are there is because when we added a primary key to the database, which came from the textbook example, MySQL automatically indexed any primary key and foreign keys. And you can see here this FK stands for foreign keys. Now, what I want to do is show you what happens when we try to search on a column that is not indexed. So in this case, we're going to go ahead and look at the vendor phone. And I would like to add an index to that so that we can search and find vendors very quickly. First, I'm going to show you what happens if you search without an index. So we go ahead and query that table. And this time we're going to use the vendor phone. And I copy and pasted a phone number that I know is in that table. I'm going to go ahead and run this query, and you'll see that it took 0.422 seconds if you look at my mouse down at the bottom here. If we click the Explain tab in Navicat, it will give us a performance review on how quickly this query ran. As you can see here, we have 122 rows total in the table. So that means it had to go row by row until it found my phone number. It doesn't stop right when it finds it. It continues searching the entire table. You can imagine if this had 1,000,000 rows, this query would have taken a lot longer. So in order for us to speed it up, we're going to add an index. And you would typically add an index to columns where you plan on making lots of searches. For example, emails in a users table, or perhaps vendors is something that we look up. Phone numbers a lot, we would add that index. So to do that, I go back to my indexes. I simply add index, click the add new button here. Then, oops, do that again. I select the column in the table. In this case, we want the vendor phone. And then it's going to ask me about the index type. Full text index is for large documents with lots of text. We are not going to use this. This is a small column with just simple text, so we're just going to use the normal index. Spatial is for geographic systems. The book spoke about that, like latitude and longitude. And unique would make this effectively a primary key, but not really. It would only allow you to have one value that's unique for the whole table. So we'll go ahead and add normal. The index methods here are btree and hash. By default, btree is selected if I don't declare any selection here. And likewise, the vendor name is automatically declared. So if I simply hit save here, it's going to give me that information pre-filled. So now we go back to that query, and we're going to run it one more time. I want you to notice the speed difference here and the profile explanation. So if I click on the Explain tab, you see now that it was able to find the vendor based on the phone number in just one row, meaning it found it right away. If you notice, the filtered value here is 100. So what that means is it's a lot faster than what we did before, where we had a value of 10 here. Generally speaking, filtered is just one data point to help you understand whether your queries are running effectively. I'm not going to get into that. It's a little too advanced for this class. But just understand that we added an index to the vendor phone column, and now we're able to search and find vendors by phone much, much faster. Remember, you have to use the indexes judiciously. Do not overuse them and put them in every single column, because that will give you the opposite effect of what you want, and it will actually start to slow down your queries.